When we think about peace and strength, they usually seem like they're from two different worlds, right? Like a quiet garden versus a chaotic battlefield. But what if I told you that real, lasting peace isn't about avoiding conflict at all? What if it's actually found in the strength to handle it? That's the powerful paradox we're going to unpack right now.
This old saying just nails it. It's not about choosing to be aggressive over being gentle. Not at all. It's all about being prepared. Think about it. A warrior has the skills to protect the garden, but a gardener who's suddenly in the middle of a war, they're totally helpless. It's about having the capacity for strength, whether you actually need to use it or not. And that really brings us to the big question, doesn't it? How do you build up that inner warrior without destroying your inner peace? How do you cultivate a garden inside yourself that's tough enough to withstand any storm?
Okay, first things first, let's really dig into this whole paradox of the warrior and the gardener, because it forces us to stop and really question what we think peace even is. The core idea we're exploring is that true peace isn't some fantasy life with zero problems. It's definitely not about being comfortable 24/7. It's an internal state of being. It's something you have to earn through self-mastery. And man, this quote from David Goggins just hits the nail on the head. He's saying peace isn't something you just stumble upon. It's something you have to earn by confronting your own internal battles, all your weaknesses, all your excuses, every single one of your limits. Winning that war is what gets you to real tranquility. Okay, so if we have to win an inner battle, who exactly are we fighting? Well, as it turns out, the biggest enemy for most of us is our own mind. And look, this is not some new idea. This is ancient wisdom. For thousands of years, spiritual traditions have all pointed the finger at the same culprit. In the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna warned us 5,000 years ago that the mind is as restless as the wind. And Buddhist teachings, they're all about quieting that constant mental chatter that causes so much of our suffering. And this right here, this is the core conflict. On one side, you've got the reactive mind. That's the one driven by stress, doubt, and being attached to how things are supposed to turn out. On the other side, you have the peaceful mind, full of clarity, calm, and detachment. This is the inner battlefield. So how do we even start to win this fight? Well, we can start with this really powerful metaphor from Buddhism. Think of it like this. You are the sky. You're vast, constant, you're always there. Your thoughts, your emotions, your worries, they're just clouds passing through. They come and they go, but they are not the essence of you. And this metaphor leads to a super practical technique. The next time a thought pops into your head, especially a negative one, don't fight it. First, just acknowledge it's there. Second, observe it, but without judging it. Just watch it like you're watching a cloud drift by. And third, just let it pass. That's the practice of non-reaction. So, choosing not to react is a huge first step. But to truly control the mind, you need a weapon. And that ultimate weapon is discipline. This is how you forge your inner warrior. A lot of people think the answer here is motivation. They wait until they feel like doing something. But motivation is unreliable. It's an emotion and it's just not there every day. You can't build a life on something so flaky. Joe Rogan puts it a little more bluntly. The whole point is that discipline is what gets things done when motivation is nowhere in sight. Discipline is showing up anyway, even when you're tired, even when you really don't feel like it. And Habib Nurmagomedov has another amazing way of looking at it. He calls discipline the best addiction. Just think about that for a second. While other addictions destroy you, this is the one that builds you up. It forges a strong life, it protects your peace, it becomes a fundamental part of who you are. So how do you build this muscle? Here are some concrete steps you can take. Schedule your week every Sunday. Write down your specific goals. And then you have to force yourself to do the work, especially when you don't feel like it. Start small with just one good day to get some momentum. Because remember, 90% of the battle is just showing up. The whole philosophy here is that discomfort is not your enemy, it's your friend. When you intentionally do difficult things, like working out when you're tired or working when you'd rather relax, that's how you develop the mental muscle of resilience. You're basically exercising your mind's ability to handle intense situations. Now that we've talked about building the warrior, let's redefine what we're actually fighting for. What does peace really look like? The answer might just surprise you. Let me share a quick story from Gar Gopal Das.
A king offered a prize for the best painting of peace. Lots of artists sent in their work, but the king narrowed it down to two. The first one was a picture of a perfect, calm lake, reflecting these huge mountains and a beautiful blue sky. It looked like the very definition of peace. The second painting was the complete opposite. It showed these rugged, bare mountains under an angry, stormy sky with lightning. A massive waterfall was just crashing down the side of a cliff. It looked like pure chaos. But if you looked really close, you could see that behind the waterfall, a mother bird was just peacefully feeding her babies in her nest. So which one do you think the king chose? He chose the second one, the one with the storm. And here's the king's profound reason why. He explained that peace isn't found in a place without noise or trouble. True peace, the peace of that mother bird, is the ability to stay calm and centered right in the middle of all the mayhem. It's an internal state, not an external condition. So the real goal is to become that bird in the storm, to be the hero of your own story. And that story doesn't start tomorrow or next week. I love this way of framing it. Think about your life like it's a movie, and you are the hero. This isn't a dress rehearsal. That opening scene, the moment the hero decides to change, the part where the real journey begins, that moment is right now. Remember, you are not defined by your past. You're defined by what you do next. Your hero's journey starts this very moment. So the only question left is, what's your first move?